Hello, 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 hello. Ain't no party like a Scorpio party. Isn't that what they say? So, welcome. Welcome, everybody. I hope you all had a fabulous Halloween. Whoa. It was funny. So many people yesterday when they're coming into the store were saying, "Oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired." I'm like, "Oh, yeah, the moon's gone into Scorpio." People feel pretty exhausted with that moon in Scorpio. Uh, It is. I mean, we're in this intensity of energies, right? And the craziness of energies. You left your coffee in the car, or did you bring it in and put it? No, you were carrying it in. Look in the bedroom. So the intensity is there. Ooh, hello, Kathy. Good morning. Finally connect live with you. Yes, that's awesome. Yeah, so today, I mean, the thing is that the intensity is there. We know it's there. But I think there's also this tiredness that's going along with it. And with that Pluto with squaring over to the Scorpio energy right now, and it's in Capricorn. So I'd really watch out for your bones and your structure. You might be feeling a little bit more either hip issues or feeling a little bit more achiness because of it. And then it's also in opposition to Mars, and Mars going over to making um, a square over to Scorpio as well. So there's this energy of intensity, and both Mars and Pluto are the rulers of Scorpio. So we have them in this intense opposition, and this opposition is going to be going on for quite some time because Mars has slowed right down, and it's in Cancer, and it is also going to be going retrograde, and it just is bringing in this intensity, this pull on my safety and security, and wanting my safety and security, and feeling like I want to be snug as a bug in a rug and stay there. I don't want to stay there. Yet you can't stay there. You got to get out, but you have to remember to do this at your own pace. And it's really important to make sure that you're giving your body the nutrients it needs, like the protein. Protein is a big one that people are going to be needing right now. And it's like, if you're, when your blood sugar goes low and you give somebody like a little piece of peanut butter and you're just like, whoa, okay, you're feeling a little bit better. Well, you're getting that protein, right? Um, that the body's, craving. So that's the other part too, is looking at your blood sugar levels. So making sure that you're getting the protein that you need in order for you um, to be able to do the things, just regular things that you want to do from day to day, right? So protein is going to be very, very important over these next few weeks, and just keeping yourself and keeping your, the other part, if anybody who eats any organs like liver and things like that. I mean, making sure that you're getting it from a very good source, and you know where you're getting the source from. And that is going to bring in the nutrients for you as well. A bone broth is another one that's coming in very strongly, that people are going to be, it's getting those nutrients, those micronutrients that seem to be lacking right now. And then with that Pluto intensity, with this Mars energy that we have, and especially, I mean, the moon is going to be there till late Saturday night. So we have this intensity. And then, of course, in the Scorpio season is all about the depths. It's all about the reveal, like what we're revealing, the depths of your soul. Right. And looking at the things that you don't want there anymore, right? And the boundaries that you want to put up. And it's also the intimacy, right? So Scorpio is that intimacy. And that's not necessarily the sexuality or the act of sex. It is about the intimacy, the interaction that you have with other people. And that's really important to look at. What is that interaction I'm having with others? Is this a true interaction I really want to have with others? Or you know, is it not nurturing my soul? Like, you want things to nurture your soul. You want things that are going to bring forth that depth, right? And especially with this new moon. The new moon came to its apex at about 5:35, was it 5:35 a.m. this morning, Pacific Standard Time. So the activation of that moon was early this morning, right? So early this morning was this activation. So you might have found that you got up early, you wanted to sleep in, you couldn't sleep in, or the opposite. I mean, the opposite is, it could be that is like you just didn't want to get out of bed because it's just of that intensity. And so you really have to learn to go at your own pace and not overdo it, not um overextend yourself, like thinking that I have to do this, and thinking that you have control. You have no control. There's no control over any situations right now. Uh um I was listening, and it was, oh my goodness, when Jonathan is his name. And as I'm listening to him speak, and he's talking about a speech that him and his wife went to, and he was talking about, because there's always been a fall and a rise of, Rome, of Babylon. You could go to the English, the Spanish, the Portugal, all of these places, Italy. I mean, and now Italy is just a country, right? But they were in power for a good 1,000 years. And then, the fall, the decline of their power. And he was talking about some of the things that had to do with the fall of a empire. That's the word I'm trying to think. And one of the ones, and he mentioned it, and it was weird, is that climate change. And I'm just like, oh, so this climate change that we're all thinking about, and oh, climate change, and that it's something that's been around for thousands of years. This isn't anything that is somebody just pulled out their backside and said, oh, we're having climate change. Has been a known factor for a long time. We've just haven't really um, written down, the temperature changes in that. But geologists can go back and they can see where there was great drought. They could see where famine was through the rocks, through the trees, right? So they can see these things, and they can sort of time it. So they can look back at these different times and say, yeah, there was great drought. Um, it was very difficult for um, people to get food, to get things, and that was one of the process. The other thing is poor government, poor leadership, and not having proper leadership. I mean, Caesar, he wanted to be the only emperor. That was it. He wanted to be it. He wanted to be all and end all. And of course, they killed him in the Senate. Same with Napoleon. He wanted to be he could be the only one, right? The be all end all. But of course, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at around the world. We're looking at the poor leadership in practically every single country, even though you think it's going well. I was watching a documentary on El Salvador. And now El Salvador is like, yeah, people are saying it's a safe place to be, but they're still under martial law, right? The law hasn't changed. He hasn't let go of the martial law, and he hasn't really done anything for the poor people. He might have been, cut government and all of this, but there are people, children still begging on the streets. There's children that still need food, need clothing, need education. But that's not the priority, right? Yeah, you could get rid of all the bad guys, get rid of all the baddies, and put them in jail or whatever you're going to do with them. But it's like, what are you doing for the people, right? So the poor leadership that's there. So there's all of this that's going on in the world, and you might think it's really doing really well, kind of thing. So we are in this time of great transformation and change. And the only thing that's ever constant is the divine, is God, the universe. That's the only thing that's constant. It doesn't change. Saturn does what Saturn does. Uranus does what Uranus does. They're not changing. They have their orbit. They do. They have their conjunctions and oppositions and trines and squares, and that has an activation that happens here on Earth. And we have to understand within all this beautiful dance that is in the cosmos is orchestrated by a higher being, you could say. Something, that is of a huge intelligence, of a huge, is bringing forth all of this. So we don't have that control. And this is why it's so important to really find that constant within oneself, to find that higher power, that whatever you believe in, to help to lead you, to trust in that. It's, yes, definitely good to know what's going on in the rest of the world. It's good to know what's going on with the government. But it's not to put that is my God or that is my faith. I mean, look at China, right? It's like Xi Jinping has to be the God, has to be the ruler, but this too shall end. You think that 15 years in rule, 20 years in rule is a long time, but in the grand scheme of things here on the universe, here here in the cosmos, it's only it's nothing. It's nothing. So that's why we have to reach for that higher power. And that's where Scorpio comes in. Because Scorpio goes and gets you into that intimacy that not only within yourself, but within your God. Great activation with this moon. Beautiful, beautiful activation. So let's pull some cards here. So everybody's new moon who ordered the new moon readings are out. There's only 3 readings left for the year. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3 readings left for the year for new moon and full moon readings. So if you want to get in on it, let me know. Put your name in. They're $50 a reading. You get a written part, and then I do a very short video of a tarot reading for you. But everybody enjoys the written part that they've been getting, so that's pretty cool. Slow and steady wins the race. That's the card that jumped out. So we have the Knight of Pentacles coming out. Slow and steady does the race. To gain the riches that you want to gain what it is that you want to obtain, right? The 10 of Pentacles is like at the peak, the pinnacle of what you are doing upon your mundane travels, right? So this is the ending of it. This is the ending of it. And then you go and then you have to take that steady pace, right? Allowing yourself to take the steady pace. And as you take that steady pace, you're obtaining what it is that you want in this world. You're obtaining, the family, the prosperity, the abundance, what you believe is to be of this world, right? So this world, when we look at the pentacles, has to do with money, has to do with relationships, has to do with health. All of that is within your mundane world. So it's obtaining the true riches of your muggle world on a slow and steady pace. And as you do that, don't get stuck there. Don't get stuck there. Right? Don't get stuck thinking that's it. Oh, this is what I need. This is what I have. Don't get stuck there, right? Because you have to look at you have to have a higher being, a higher thought, a higher direction. If you are not having that, if you are not having that connection with a higher self, with a God, with a goddess, if you are not putting that energy above all, if you're not putting that energy above all, everything else is meaningless. It's nothing. It's meaningless. It's worthless. You can have the money in the world. You can have all what you want. But if you're not if you're not trying to attain something higher, something beyond yourself, and that's all part of this Scorpio new moon, if you're not trying to obtain it, then it's all meaningless. Yeah, baby. Yeah. There you go. So have a fabulous, fabulous day. May the Lord and Lady watch over and bless each and every one of you. Rabbit for November the 1st, and go forth. Make sure you sprinkle your cinnamon at your front door to bring in the prosperity and the abundance, because yes, you still want the prosperity and abundance. You can still obtain that prosperity and abundance no matter what, right? You can still obtain it, right? But don't make it the total priority for everything. That's the key. That's the key. Because Scorpio season, it's going to be kick-ass, baby. It ain't going to, Scorpios are the truth sayer. Scorpios are the sign that people don't like, because we take you to the depths of your soul and make you look at the truth of what it is that you need to look at. So there ain't no party like Scorpio party, as I say. Have a blessed one, everyone, and we will talk to you tomorrow. Blessed be everyone. Bye-bye.